1,455 pounds of marijuana, which directly supported the Commandant's Western Hemisphere strategy to dismantle transnational organized crime. During Operation Pacific Fortune, he drew on Pacific Northwest Fisheries expertise to help safeguard U.S. economic interests, our commercial fleet, and protect precious natural resources, which generate $500 million annually. Bold and innovative, his leadership and experience were crucial during two first-ever astern fuelings at sea, first with a 154-foot Sentinel-class cutter, then with a 418 national security cutter. In both instances, valuable lessons were communicated to the Office of Cutter Forces to reimagine cutter endurance options and influence operational plannings for years to come. His meticulous attention to detail was showcased during two Seattle Seafairs and a Los Angeles Fleet Week, which saw over 2,000 public tours, 2 VIP receptions, 2 parade of ships, and generated exceptional praise and visibility for the service. He mentored shipmates in all facets of bridge management and helped qualify 27 officers of the deck, 65 helm and lookouts, and 47 junior OODs. Displaying unwavering dedication, he committed over 200 hours engraving over 100 departure awards for shipmates to commemorate their tours aboard Active. Chief Petty Officer Steiger's diligence, perseverance, and devotion to duty are most heartily commended and in keeping with the highest traditions of the United States Coast Guard. The operational distinguished device is authorized.
Congratulations. For one of you who didn't notice, John's longer, I added 2 extra lines in there. I know you're only allowed 12, but there's 2 extra lines of text.
The last two don't really talk about the Coast Guard,
That's right,
official
John.
Coast Guard
That's right.
business.
That's right.
Military members, you may be seated. We recognize that accomplishments such as these are not achieved alone. Family support and sacrifice are the key ingredient to success. Mrs. Steiger, would you please join your husband and accept a small token of recognition for the support you have provided Jeffrey during his military service?
I'll read this out loud. Certificate of Appreciation from the United States Coast Guard. To all who shall see these greetings, this is to certify that Julie Steiger has earned grateful appreciation for unselfish, faithful, and devoted service during her husband's Coast Guard career. Her unfailing support and understanding helped to make possible her husband's lasting contribution to this nation. Given this first day, this is going to be October, so we're predating it. This first day of October 2020, signed by Carl L. Schultz, U.S. Coast Guard Commandant.
Chief Steiger also brought flowers for his mother, so Kathy, would you please join Jeffrey to receive your gift as well?
Thank you, Mom.
For Julie and Kathy, ladies and gentlemen.
Commander O'Mara will now present BMC Steiger with a Presidential Certificate of Appreciation from our Commander-in-Chief, President Donald Trump. The citation reads as follows. For service in the Armed Forces of the United States of America, Chief Boatswain's Mate Jeffrey S. Steiger, I extend to you my personal thanks and the sincere appreciation of a grateful nation for your contribution of honorable service to our country. You have helped maintain the security of the nation during a critical time in its history with a devotion to duty and a spirit of sacrifice in keeping with the proud traditions of the military service. I trust that in coming years you will maintain an active interest in the armed forces and the purpose for which you serve. For those who will follow in your footsteps will draw inspiration from your commitment, dedication, and sacrifices made to ensure the protection of American freedoms. My best wishes to you for happiness and success in the future. Signed, Donald Trump, Commander-in-Chief.
If you haven't seen our president's signature, that is one hell of a signature.
Commander O'Mara will now present BMC Steiger his retirement certificate.
Now this is the one. This is the one that everybody's waiting for, right?
The citation reads as follows. Certificate of Retirement from the Armed Forces of the United States of America. To all who shall see these presents, greetings. This is to certify that Chief Boatswain's Mate Jeffrey S. Steiger, having been retired after honorable service in the United States Coast Guard, is awarded this testimonial as acknowledgement of duty faithfully performed during a period of over 20 years. Signed, Commandant, United States Coast Guard, Admiral Carl L. Schultz. Now, CSC Thompson would like to present Jeffrey Steiger with a gift from Coast Guard Cutter Active.
All right, Jeff. Big moment here. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into the crafting of this thing. A lot of hours. And as Jules is laughing over there, she knows that for the last several years on board Coast Guard Cutter Active, Jeff has single-handedly crafted every single departing award for members leaving this unit. Underway, we have something called Steiger Sweatshop, which is a term of endearment because he has taught us all countless hours of fancy work, and so we want to present this to you today. But Jeff, we have a special gift coming to you from all the chiefs, which we'd like to present to you after the ceremony today. Not appropriate for you. But I'll read this here. We've got BMC Jeffrey Steiger, June 2016 to June 2020, 110,044.8 nautical miles sailed. But I would like to take just a few minutes just to talk about some of the things that Jeff has contributed to the mess on board Active. He will be very dearly missed. Jeff brings a lot of stuff to the table, and as his family and friends may or may not know, he does like to call it like he sees it. It's sort of, as Captain spoke to earlier, but the reason I say may not know, because outside of work he seems like a big teddy bear. But at work, I believe this is truly, as Captain said, one of his big strengths as a chief is that he sees problems, he sees things that can be improved, and he fixes them. He takes action on them. Because of that, Jeff, your tour on board, your 7 years on Active, you have made countless improvements to this cutter and made a lot of things better. Secondly, his supportive leadership style. I cannot tell you how many times this guy saved our ass. All right? He personally, the chief's mess, the command, whether it was a phone call after hours, on the weekend, on leave, we needed something, Jeff was always there. He came in, he made, we could tell you some sea stories, I'm sure. We'll get into that later, but some plaques during Seafair and all kinds of last minute stuff. But it worked. Every single time you were there, and we can't thank you enough as a master. Lastly, Jeff is very passionate about nautical history and traditions. As our senior cutterman on board, he has organized every single cutterman ceremony on board to pass on those rich histories to the next generation of cuttermen in our seagoing service. But even more so than that, in the Chiefs Mess, he's always been an active member of the mess, always attends Chiefs calls, was very involved in the Chiefs Call initiation process, and he's helped shape the next generation of Chiefs, passing on all that wisdom. And thank you so much, man.
Jeffrey, thank you for all that you have done aboard Active. To show our appreciation, we would like to present you with yet another gift.
Yes.
At this time, I'd like to invite BMC Lee to the front for a presentation from Active.
You need help?
All right, huge surprise here for Shadow Box, as tradition, for any usual retired service member.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, no better way to capture 20 years of service and history, in one frame. So, 20 years of excellent service.
The navy does look good, honey. Navy blue looks good.
For those who don't know, the tradition of presenting a shadow box to a retiring sailor is born of early British custom. In the days of sail when Britain ruled the seas, it was considered bad luck for a sailor upon final departure from a ship to allow his shadow to hit the pier before he himself departed the ship. In order to ensure no such misfortune should befall their shipmate, the crew would construct a box of the finest timber and place within it all things that reflected his accomplishments. Only then could the man, with the shadow of himself in hand, safely depart the ship and go ashore once and for all. Within the box lies a sailor's most honored and cherished possessions, including the flag of the United States of America, representing a lifetime of valiant and faithful service. This shadow box serves as a reminder of your achievements during your outstanding career in service to our nation. Before we continue and move forward, we do have one last thing.
Needs to be presented. Chief Lee, I want you right here. I wanted to leave this to the end, so you're surprised. So bear with me. I'll be right back with the surprise.
Captain always goes off script. It's standard. I think he just realized he forgot.
Oh. It happened.
There we go. All right. This is something. I want the chief to be in this frame, but this is what I want you to know about. I'm kind of seeing some back.
Thank you, Ops. This is something I'm watching his eyes. I watch his eyes scan the flight deck. He's scanning, he's looking for that helm. Where is that helm? Where's this ship's wheel? I watched his eyes the day that ship's wheel was taken off the bridge and replaced with, we talked about the new cutters, unmanned systems, all this. Well, we got a brand new steering system installed a couple months back. When that helm came off, his eyes stayed locked on it. You know, we talked about, where is that going to go? I said, I'll put down the cabin. We'll find a home for it. We'll take good care of it. But this means a lot to Chief Steiger, and I wanted to send a couple things here. It's a helm. It's a ship's wheel, right? It's just, that's what takes us where we need to go. It takes us out to do the mission, and it brings us home, right? Jeff has given 2 decades of his life to service, but he's given a lot of himself to this ship, right? He served a couple tours on this ship. So this is a small opportunity for Active to give a piece of herself back to you. This is yours forever. You take a physical piece of Active with you just as much as you've given into her. So Chief, I can't think of any other item that would be more fitting, especially for a bosun's mate chief, than to walk off. And that's your send-off, all right? From all of us on the Cutter Active, it means a lot for us to see you have that in your hands.
Now it gives me great pleasure to introduce today's honoree, BMC Jeffrey Steiger, United States Coast Guard, retired.
So I prepared a few words in hopes that I wouldn't start crying. But,
See how that goes.
yeah. Pretty much everybody's covered a lot of what I was going to say. But I can't underscore the fact that I wouldn't be here without my family standing behind me, putting up with my deployments, putting up with me. My fellow chiefs, the whole mess, thank you for putting up with me. I've said some things in the mess that stay in the mess.
Love you, buddy.
Ops Officer, Lieutenant Early, we've had some frank discussions about how things work. Hopefully you learned something from me. I learned some stuff from you. Decorum and not maybe speaking my mind as much as I should. Captain Amaro, thank you very much for going all out, making this happen today. I know we're going over the 15 minutes that were allotted, but you know what? Screw it, it's my day, right? So there's many more people that have helped me throughout my career. I can't name them all. I'd like to recognize a few. My sister, Selena, couldn't be here today. Is she FaceTiming live? Hi, Selena. Thank you. My Aunt Roxanne, former